Hi everyone, and welcome to Artsmouth. Unfortunately, we had some weather difficulties today, and we had to relocate inside, but that's okay. We are still bringing you a show today on this live video. So we have a lot of great poets and musicians here. We have C.D. Bailey, J.I.B, Trista Bailey, Simon Snow, Nick Gray, and myself. I hope you enjoy the show, and without further ado, here is C.D. Bailey.
Oh my goodness. I'm probably going to give a preliminary content warning for any poems you might hear. I'll talk about some shit. This poem is called A Giant Piece of Concrete. My father that I met once is somewhere in this town in a rehab again, and I don't care that my father is in rehab. He will always be filthy to me, no matter how clean his brain becomes. He is mold on bread, shitty graffiti on an abandoned brick building, where all the bricks are turning into smaller pieces of brick. Jesus fucking Christ, Dad, this isn't a vacation. You don't go where they have beaches. That new rehab in town used to be an abandoned brick building. The abandoned brick building used to be a shoelace factory when there was a flood in 1937 that killed a mother who saved her baby. My father is a crack in a brick of a building that is falling. A rehab is falling, turning into concrete. My father is turning into a slab of concrete. I don't care that my old man is a massive piece of stone. Once as a child, I fell face first into a concrete cinder block. My teeth left permanent holes inside my bottom lip. My face fell into a giant piece of concrete, this inconceivably hard thing. My dad is a brick, crushed under brick. This fucking town is made of buildings that don't have people inside of them. Somewhere is a town with a rehab that houses my father. He is this inconceivably hard thing. What is that one? Here's a one called Slenderman. It's about the Slenderman stabbing that happened in, I think like 2014. Two girls took another girl to the woods, pretended she was a bleeding deer that needed put down, kept stabbing. One of them was scared and kept stabbing. Sometimes it's too late to be a kid again. Blood stains, even skin, even children can be stained. She was stabbed 19 times. 19 times wondering why she isn't dead yet. Turned into a pile of leaves. Bleeding leaves would have become a tree if it meant nobody would notice her. A childhood cut out from the flesh, leaking into the dirt. Dirt becomes bloody, and blood is already dirty. She's lying in dirt that is somehow more filthy, getting stabbed, turning into a log deep in the woods. Nobody cares about logs, but this log bleeds. And blood always means something more when nobody knows where it is coming from. Here's a new one that I've written recently. It's called Better is a Word for Less Miserable. And the washer is broken again. This thing too is its own apocalypse. I'm trying to end this cycle. Drinking more water, educational YouTube videos, less junk, less food that's junk, maybe get better, probably get better. Things desperately need to get better. The bomb, scared of heights. I wonder what it's like to not fly. The fly says, I wonder what it's like to be big. The ground says, here I am. I say, spare me the bomb, give me the medicine. One day this brain will function again. A boy forgives his father. Now things can get better. The ground forgives the bomb. Now things can get better. That is that. Here's another one, a new one I've written recently. It's called A Great Giant Bomb or Sleeping Dragon. While I'd like to believe I'm as warm as you think I am, I cannot in good conscience believe that. I know warmth the same way I know reaching for the blanket. The way a fireplace knows it's about to die. Same way, little boy, afraid of this furnace, understands that while this thing can hurt him, it is necessary. I have seen the end of the world. It's always getting closer. And while I know the sun is a bomb, and bombs have only one purpose, the future can't wait to see me. I know that the future sounds like an excuse to keep going, to see if there really is a river like a dragon hoarding beautiful things underneath. The future is patient and it will always be. The sun doesn't need permission to end everything. That's just how everything has to happen. And it's terrifying living under a giant bomb next to a dirt river. Little boy understands the way water rages and that bombs only have one purpose. And while he knows that this thing can hurt him, it is necessary. This one is called There's More to a Fire Than Burning. It's a kind of a reflection of life after my grandparents' house burned down. Yeah, so when the house burned down, it wasn't a bonfire. There was no celebration. It was the fall of Alexandria, the fear of fireworks, the burning of everything a family built. I did not cry. There's more to fire than burning. Fire doesn't burn the way Hollywood thinks. This wasn't Hollywood, just another small town tragedy. The people say there will always be another house. The insurance says maybe. I no longer smoke cigarettes lightly. Embers can always turn into a house fire or the burning of cities, the cremation of memories. There's more to fire than burning. It's almost magical, somewhat a beautiful tragedy. A new house was built. There's a dog inside now. My grandma beat stage 4 cancer, her body on fire. Every now and again, I still smell the smoke from when a house of bricks turned into a pile of ash. It keeps me on my toes. Fire doesn't need to make an introduction. I know its name. Sometimes we still have conversations. There's more to fire than burning. All right, this one is another newish one I wrote. It's called Victor Frankenstein, otherwise known as the man who beat God. My mother says make my bed. Have some pride for yourselves, some goddamn standards. I still don't understand. Victor Frankenstein beat God, both the creator of life and sin, couldn't tell the difference, made a giant out of tiny moving parts, something both metal and flesh. And I want to tell my mom that my bed is a monster, a thing more so than an object. But I am afraid. I'm afraid of monsters, and this world is a big, beautiful monster. I live in the stomach of things I fear. I do not say this. And I think, once again, about Victor Frankenstein, both in awe and fear of his own creation. I couldn't possibly make my bed. I can't sleep in the tragedies of my creations. I think about the sun, how I'm a rock, and sometimes the sun hits me in that way that makes me want to stay alive just a little bit longer, to feel it again. That's that. This one's called The Face of a Rock. I keep feeling like I'm saying I rock, but I'm saying a rock. A rock. You think he wonders about molecules or about the Big Bang Theory and how everything in the world never stops coming into existence. He is a thing constantly coming into existence, a hole falling into another hole. I wonder if he thinks about how punk rock it actually was for Ronald Reagan to tell Mr. Gorbachev to tear down the Berlin Wall. I bet he used to live in a place surrounded by walls, literal walls made from materials able to hold a house. House means a place where the ground is less hard. He pretends to be a rock in a field of weeds, and sometimes the sun hits his face in that way that makes him want to stay alive a little longer. The days don't really happen, they just constantly exist. Sometimes the guarantee of tomorrow doesn't come with food. Food doesn't always promise to be eaten, and this hunger is something more than just being hungry, and his stomach is making animal noises. He remembers that feeling of the sun hitting his face when he's a rock in a field by some railroad tracks, and how that feeling makes him want to stay alive just a little bit longer. I was a sophomore in high school, and there was this kid who was a senior, and one random day in January, we didn't have school that day, so I was just outside shoveling snow, and then I find out that a kid that was a senior ran over in an intersection. He was riding on the back of a truck. He was on a sled being pulled by a four-wheeler in an intersection. It was like 3 a.m. or something like that, and it was a hit and run too, so it was a whole ordeal. So I just kind of wrote about how I'm processing it because it's very weird. It's called How Something Turns into Pavement. The first time I saw something die, I was too young. It was a cat caught between a pickup and the road that led to the hill I grew up on. So I had to see this thing that used to be an animal slowly turn into pavement into a thing that's somewhat cartoonish, somewhat like the animals hit by cars that I watched on television too young and too many times before. Only this was real, and the truck was real, as was the person driving, and the sadness and the magic of watching an animal turn into pavement. I have a cat now, and sometimes I think about how sad I would be if she ever turned into pavement, caught between curiosity and a tank. I was shoveling snow when I heard the news that a boy 2 grades above me was roadkill, and there was alcohol, Adderall, and other drugs the kids were doing in the year 2016 in his body. He too became an animal smashed between rubber and concrete, and he was too young, and I never liked him much, but he was dead before I even knew what my mother was making for dinner that day, and I wonder if he twitched the way that cat did. You know, the kind of twitching that means the brain has no more desire to function. Every once in a while, lately, more often than not, I wonder if the headlights are beautiful before turning into pavement. I'll just read one more. It's called All the Kids Are Gonna Go Far, Right? The world is a feral and ugly beast, but it loves you. The world is a feral and ugly beast, but it loves you. The world is a feral and ugly beast, but it loves you. The world is a feral and ugly beast, but it loves you. The world is a feral and ugly beast, but it loves you. The world is a feral and ugly beast, but it loves you. The world is a feral and ugly beast, but it loves you.
Great, brother. All right, so this first one I wrote earlier this year, and it was in the depths of a really bad depressive episode. So this is a huge trigger warning just for all of my poems. It involves a lot of sensitive topics about essay, self-harm, the works. So this one is 7 More Years. I'm a recurring offender, and I finished my prison sentence and end up back in the slot a couple days later. Don't tell me what to do or say. You don't understand how much I fucking hate you. I'm going to get locked up again because you're a stupid bitch who doesn't know how to shut the fuck up when the time isn't right. You don't know how long I've wanted to take these chains and strangle you until your skin turns blue like your miserable life is soaked in shades of depression and suicide wishes. I should just take my hands and clench them with the anger that cascades through my veins like the flame in a forest fire. I could simply snap your neck as easy as you crumble your sanity and do nothing about it because you can't handle your fucking problems. I'm getting locked up again because in this moment in time, I'm prepared to punch you right in the fucking face. I hate you. Nobody fucking likes you. I can't stand the sight of you. Why won't you stay the fuck away from me? This is an everyday war between you and I, and here I am committing suicide and domestic abuse at the same time because you don't deserve to live a happy life. I land my fist into your nose and my hand is bleeding. The cops are on their way, another 7-year sentence. I need to buy a new mirror. Alright, this one is not titled. I honestly did not know where I was going to go with this one, but here we go. I finally sat my mother down to tell her I'm suicidal. We sat at the dinner table that once was always filled. Holiday dinners and game nights aren't the same anymore. I never got to learn how to play euchre with my family in time before the empty chairs that once sat bodies now pile up dust in boxes. I've never related so much to an inanimate object until now. No one told me that when we grow up, people tend to stop coming around, or when just one person dies, all family traditions go out the door along with their soul. I don't want to witness a family tree withering any more than it already has. And how ironic, because I too am withering. My mother cries and I start to believe that she starts to believe that she's failed as a parent when that's far from the truth. I can thank my shitty social skills for that one. Imagine telling the woman that gave you the gift of life that you no longer want it. Zoloft and iced coffee is my version of a breakfast of champions, and every day I wake up deciding if I want to feel numb or finally swallow what's left of my pride and finally kill myself. But alas, I'm here. Because I can't fathom the thought that is, I came into this world crying with everyone smiling, and now I leave this world smiling with everyone crying. This one's called Migration. I sit on the back porch of my 60-hour-a-week job at sunset, and the sky's an envious shade of purple and blue. And a flock of geese are flying, traveling to a much warmer place, while singing their songs of annoying-ass melody. I stare, envious myself. I wish I could just fly away. I wish I was a goose, not because I'm a silly one either. I was hoping that makes someone laugh. But I want to go to a much warmer place when life starts to get cold. I want to migrate to my safe place away from my small town's heroin-filled streets infested with mothers selling their bodies on street corners, only to get a small cut from her John to only fuel her meth addiction and maybe buy food for her children. I want to migrate from holding my knife in my hoodie pocket while walking to my car in broad daylight, because men don't care what time of day it is as long as they get their next product on their underground sex trafficking ring. I want to migrate from myself. This fucking town is a ball and chain attached to my ankle. I want to migrate so I no longer have to dwell in poverty and work my 60-hour-a-week job, swallowing my breakfast of whatever the fuck my healthcare provider decided I needed to be happy, and cheap iced coffee. You can see the theme here. I want to migrate to get to that warm place, to escape the thought of going into permanent hibernation. That was it for that one, sorry. All right, I have two more. This one is called 15 Hours into a 6-Hour Drive. Little backstory, my aunt was a recovering addict, and she was clean for a while, for about 3.5 years, and I got a call that my father would be moving back to Ohio. He lived in Missouri, and
He goes back, doesn't he come back in less than a month?
he comes back in less than 3 weeks, actually. So about a few months ago, we went up to Missouri to get all this stuff. That way, you know, everything's ready to go when we pick him up. And my aunt went with me, and she relapsed during the trip. It was probably the worst trip that I've ever taken in my life. Here it is. We make small talk turn into emotional conversation, spilling out all of our hardships and dark past traumas. I'll let you know that I'm no longer that naive, optimistic daddy's girl. For now, I know what addiction looks like, staring into my tethered soul, grasping my inner child with its talons. I know all about heartbreak. I've traveled my whole life in waist-deep swamps, sloshing my legs through the muck that was the main ingredients of the brew that is my insecurities. I was always told to keep going, but my legs are so fucking tired. And here you are spewing your venom-coiled lies in my face because I'm still that happy, naive little girl you watched run around your parents' backyard. It seems like you forgot the time never pauses, but simply keeps moving forward, so I know a relapse quite well, and she's caught your body captive. I've only had less than a handful of moments in my life where I thought I was going to die, but goddamn, you've outdone all of them. Every gas station on Route 64 called your captive's name, and you listened to the dumb bitch. Of course, I thought nothing of it at first. I guess my inner child is still holding on to whatever thread of hope was left, but then I see the burned, wrinkled up foil, and I fall to my knees. The thread has finally snapped, and I can only conjure up vomit and psychosis as I attempt to come up with a game plan to make it home alive. Of course I do, though, because when you're a soldier thrown into the heart of a battlefield, the only thing you know how to do is try to survive. It's fucking crazy seeing this happen again. I've never imagined such hatred for Indiana. But this place is now my own personal battlefield, and sleep deprivation and hunger has never terrified me the way it did. Driving down the freeway, wondering if I'd make it home before drifting into the medium. Jesus Christ, I can't grab the gear shift, and your body is contorted to shapes of art that are not like in the museums, but the art on a dare poster. I sit and drive while debating if your snores were simply just that, or finally the death rattle. 15 hours into a 6-hour drive, and I feel so lonely. You're supposed to be in place of my father, like you said on my wedding day, but you're simply just like every other little sister looking up to your big brother. You're just fucking like him. Alright, and this is the last one. It's called The First Snow. I actually wrote this a few days ago when we had our first snow of this year, or of this December. The first snow of December dusts this town's sorrows, making everything that was once ugly now beautiful and pure. But not underneath the snow is a man under a bridge by a trash can fire, freezing with nowhere to go. But the snowflakes on his eyelashes catch the moonlight just right. He's beautiful, but he's still homeless. The white blanket covers the lives of safety and unlawful prosecution. The bad man is now dead, but the victims never got justice. People think this town is safe again, but a mother, sister, aunt, daughter, niece is locked up somewhere against her will. It's beautiful that the bad man is now dead, but his legacy is still cascading over this town like the first snow of December. I too cover myself in snow to give off the impression that I have confidence to walk outside without worrying my mother, who still, after 21 years, asks if she can check my legs and wrists. Because I am a blizzard all year round, masking everything, trying to be beautiful.
Okay, so up next we have J.I.B, one of my personal favorite poets. Everyone give a round of applause.
I'm not one of the favorites.
This first poem is titled, They Use Dynamite as Required. well, not they, Use Dynamite as recorded, sorry. George Washington paid slaves for their teeth. Alexander the Great wept. The Catholic Church re-educated native children. They even cut their hair. George Washington had no problem chewing steak. We carved our faces into a mountain front. Used dynamite as required. The Catholic Church cut native children's hair and buried their bodies as Christians. There are no more worlds left to conquer. The churches are burning and I don't care. Slaves were paid by George Washington for their teeth as if they could have said no. Native children were buried as Christians in God's basement. Alexander the Great wept. And I don't care that the churches are burning. I don't care that the churches are burning. The churches are burning and I don't care. George Washington ate steak and there's no more world left. The churches are burning. The churches are all going to burn and I don't care. But fuck, here's the poem. Comprehensive history of Portsmouth. It started with Henry Massey, 1803. Then there was a flood in 1937. Legend has it only one person died, a pregnant mother. They painted her dying breath on the murals in 1950. They say for every cockroach you see, there are 1,000 you don't. A factory opened in 1902. It made shoelaces. April 3rd, 2013, Megan Lancaster disappeared in a Rally's parking lot. She had a son. October 23rd, 2020, Mike Moran was arrested on 18 charges related to drug and human trafficking. They say for every cockroach you see, there are 1,000 you don't. Sometime in the mid to late 90s, the pill mills came in. In 2017, Billy Reinhart died of an overdose. In 2019, so did Tessa McNeely. They had 2 kids apiece. So far, I'm counting 6. Legend has it there were so many overdoses in the summer of 2017 that they ran out of places to store the bodies. 350 people died in the flood of 1937, but they only painted one mural. In 2017, the shoelace factory, the one started in 1902, became a hub for sex workers. A local resident with a can of spray paint wrote, "H.I.B, hepatitis C, we got it here," on the building's crumbling brick. Documentaries were filmed and edited and broadcast on national television. In 2019, Dr. Margaret Tipomeris was sentenced to 84 months for her role in distributing opioids to the surrounding area. Dr. Paul Volkman was given 4 consecutive life sentences. On October 26, 2020, Mike Moran pled not guilty. You know what they say about cockroaches. Bessie Tomlin, Megan Lancaster, Billy Reinhart, Tessa McNeely. Between the 4, they had 6 parentless children. In March of 2021, it was announced that the shoelace factory, the one started in 1902, is being converted into a rehab. They cover the graffiti in white. End of poem. Chandler, if I end up going overtime, raise your hand. I'm really bad at figuring that. Or someone just, if you don't care, just let me know. I've never read this one out loud. I kind of thought that it was whack, but reading it today, I said, hey man, if it's whack, the rest of them are whack. I don't know. This is titled America and the Truth. This shit is all in a chapbook I'm working on. Not all the shit. This poem is in a chapbook I'm working on. But this is America and the Truth. American children fill their summers by catching fish, not to eat, but to amputate a single fin, to leave them swimming in circles. We're trying to diagnose the problem. We dress God like a cowboy and let him drink all our beer. We murder our heroes and don't dream about the future. In America, everyone's a stranger. We talk as if everyone's listening. There's no more truth left to tell. We want to die like our heroes. Fill our days with thinking of all the different ways we can kill ourselves. We brace ourselves for the end. We hate our own mothers. We want to bury our fathers. We have problems undiagnosed. We believe in other countries only in theory. We let God drink all of our beer and drive home to his wife and all of his children. Our fish don't feel pain. Our children amputate their fins to watch them pretend to panic. In America, we're swimming in circles. God fell asleep behind the wheel. We support the troops only in theory. We want to put bullets in the skulls of our stepfathers. The diagnosis is bleak. Our heroes are dead. In America, we're all suicidal and have given up on God. Everyone's a stranger, and no one is telling the truth. Brace yourself for the end. In America, we're always pretending, except when we're panicking. Don't dream about the future. There's no more truth left to tell. To be honest with you, I butchered the fucking ending of that one. That shit happened. That's all I do, baby.
You're doing great.
Okay, this one is in this other, like, full-length book I'm working on. I don't know. It'll come out when it comes out. It's called Human Evolution, the 21st Century. And here's the poem. The earliest signs of human civilization isn't a monument to war or conquest or even evidence of the invention and use of fire, but bones broken and healed. Most animals, when seriously injured, don't make it to repair. A fox who manages to chew itself free from its own leg, a hunter's trap, will inevitably bleed to death or starve elsewhere. To allow our bloody neighbors' bodies to perform their simple miracles keeps us from drooling, from sprouting fangs. When a fox chews itself free, survival isn't the goal, but to get as far away from the hunter as possible. We've evolved a sharp set of fangs, a pungent musk. We've made a mess of each other. Our bones are broken by mouths of metal teeth. If you manage to get loose, I promise I will do anything I can to get the blood to stop. I'm not going to read this other one. I'm going to go onto this book now. This is a book we got published recently this year by a press called Alien Buddha. I decided I wasn't going to plug my book here today, so don't even ask me for a copy. I read this fucker here on a podcast here Tuesday when I was, trying to sell shit like the dirty capitalist that I've become. This poem's called A Dead Horse, and this is, I don't know if any of y'all were ever prescribed Adderall as a child and had any adverse effects, but I wrote a couple poems about that in this fucker, and this is one of them. It's called A Dead Horse. You're a child and there's something wrong. There's always something. Always crying and never stops talking, the teachers say. The doctors say there's medication for this, and your mother says nothing. Your mother nods. A horse breaks a leg. Your mother fills your prescription. Your mother tells you to take by mouth twice daily on a full stomach only. A horse takes a bullet to the skull. You, a child, there's something wrong, always something wrong. There's a smell of vomit always, and never crying or talking or sleeping, eating or thinking, nothing. Only fragments, only vomit and medication and wrong. You were a child who was always crying and never stopped talking, and now you aren't. You avoid conflict at any cost, the teachers say. The doctors say the medication is working, and you're a child, or you were. You're no longer a child. You're still taking medication. You're taking anything given, an empty stomach. You avoid conflict, avoid conflict, avoid conflict. You avoid conflict, avoid conflict, avoid conflict, avoid conflict, avoid conflict until there's nothing but avoid conflict, vomit, medication, nothing wrong, a dead horse. It's a typical American family at dinner time. At dinner table, instant mashed potatoes, a mother, makeup smeared, a dress stained. She insists that everyone eats in the same room. This ritual is supposed to mean something. She hopes they'll capture something precious during. A stepfather. He likes to watch videos of car wrecks or other calamities or animals eating smaller ones. Pork chops, chewy like bubble gum, salt, a stain that won't come out. Children, They're not sure if there's anything precious anywhere. This ritual is supposed to mean something. Alright. So that's it, man. You all have been a very good crowd. Thanks for having me.
The man.
Oh,
Okay, up next we have Simon Snow. He's gonna read a couple of poems and then they're gonna play some songs for us.
So this is about my shitty abusive ex who I kind of exposed back in August for being shitty and abusive.
We're getting deep today. Yes.
So I don't know if there are trigger warnings that I need to put in here because I haven't read this in a while. How do you rescind forgiveness to someone who doesn't speak to you anymore? Because I want to take it back. The I never wanted to hurt yous, the I loved yous, because the truth is I wanted to destroy you in the same ways you'd killed me over and over and over. I wanted to blow it all up, a pipe bomb of our mutually assured destruction. I said forgive you over and over and over in the moments after the blast. Forgiveness, my form of apology for breaking the locks and destroying our home for both of us. Hollow walls and empty eyes, memories like a broken record over and over and over, slowly, forever haunting. The sight of nuclear fallout, slowly rotting with the radiation. Because you were slow poison and I was a mushroom cloud, and in the end we killed each other, and we will kill each other over and over and over. I said I forgive you because I felt joy in your demise and I couldn't feel the aftershocks, and because I never wanted to fucking hurt you like you hurt me over and over and over. I said I forgive you, but I take it fucking back. Because life without you is somehow worse, because you ruined me, because you don't fucking deserve it. I said I forgive you, but there is no peace in forgiveness. You killed me, and your unlovable hand in mine, I brought you down with me, and I would do it over and over and over again.
Yeah!
That's called an open letter to...
Drop that name.
It's 2 a.m. again, and I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about how warm it was there, and I'm thinking about cold mornings and the coffee I didn't drink and the shitty way you played guitar and the shitty way you used to sing. I'm thinking about dusty roads and the Milky Way and the way the clouds moved like dragons and the simultaneous sunset and moonrise that made me believe in magic again. I'm thinking about anonymity and the way I wanted to be with someone like you, and the way you made me believe in God and that it was you and it was me. I'm thinking about your crappy torch and the way you made pallets and sheets look like a fucking palace, and how you promised me the world when all you really gave me was hell. I'm thinking about your stories and wondering what was true, and thinking about the morning I asked if I could call you Dad and the way you held me as I sobbed it. And I'm thinking about indoctrination, about evil, about dark, about the mentality of a cultist and the vision of his leader. It's 3 a.m. and I'm thinking about you again.
God damn.
That's the first time I've ever read those out loud.
You just sing your poetry.
I should. I mean, I write my own music, so that's what you're about to hear. These first 2 songs were written while I was in Slab City, which is great because these are the first songs I ever wrote. I don't write music. I write lots of shitty poetry about overdose and LSD, but I don't write music. I kinda write high fantasy and stories about killing kings, but I don't. 'Cause if I put my bullshit in a song, there's still the chance I'll sing it wrong. There's still the chance I'll fuck it up. It happens time and time again. My fear of failure is my best friend. Oh dear God, I'm gonna fuck it up. I don't write music. Used to write erotic fanfiction, stories about dudes getting rimmed, and I don't write music. Got the 1,000 stories I left behind. This inspiration is so hard to find, and I don't. 'Cause if I put my bullshit in a song, there's still the chance I'll sing it wrong. There's still the chance I'll fuck it up. It happens time and time again. My fear of failure is my best friend. Oh dear God, I'm gonna fuck it up. But I wanna write music, songs about getting laid and existence without getting paid. And I wanna write music, songs about getting high and never seeing a 29. And I want, 'cause if I put my bullshit in a song, there's still the chance I'll sing it wrong. There's still the chance I'll fuck it up. It happens time and time again. My fear of failure is my best friend. Friend that gives a fuck if I fuck it up. I don't care. Have you wondered what it's like to see the devil? Oh, darling, just look in my eyes. I go by a name my mother wouldn't recognize. And Father, your exorcisms failed me and put me through the fires of hell. Emerged with the rage in my bones and something to kill. Oh, tie me to a cross and sacrifice it all. I'll be your mortal Lucifer. I'll survive the fall, 'cause I'll take freedom at whatever the cost. Write my name in apostasy until my soul is lost. And I will be just like your angel that fell. 'Cause why be heaven's peasant when you can be the king of hell? By the gods of my grandfather abandoned, and I made my grandmother cry, I'll stand by unholy conviction till the day that I die. Oh, call me sweet catastrophe in a human shell. May I always have a place to call home, 'cause I made my place in hell. 'Cause I take freedom at whatever the cost. Write my name in apostasy until my soul is lost. And I will be just like your angel that fell. 'Cause why be heaven's peasant when you can be the king of hell? Down my wrist and blade meets blood and bone. Mama, I won't be in hellfire, I'll be on the throne. 'Cause I'll take freedom at whatever the cost. Write my name in apostasy until my soul is lost. And I will be just like your angel that fell. 'Cause why be heaven's peasant when you can be the king of hell?
That is such a good song, and I need it on every music ever I have. That is so good. Oh my god.
2020, going on 25, and tell them we were happy, or just fucking high. Felt like I was drowning in your fountain of youth. You were couch surfing in a bad part of town. I brought you in the map just to get kicked out. Felt like I could do anything but tell the fucking truth. Now my friends are dead and gone, and I hope I love them well, but I gave you fucking everything just to rot in hell. For every selfish sacrifice, I'm scared to leave you to your own devices. The day I met you was the day I fucking died. I blame myself for all your sickness. You weren't just ill, you were fucking sadistic. I'll get better was your favorite goddamn lie. Gone, and I still can't forget it. Searching through obituaries, learning what regret is. I was Icarus and you were my fucking sun. But sunshine and warmth don't always feel the same. Basking in the light couldn't extinguish the flame. Nothing burned you gave could never be called fucking love. Now my friends are dead and gone, and I hope I love them well, but I gave you fucking everything just to rot in hell. For every selfish sacrifice, I'm scared to leave you to your own devices. The day I met you was the day I fucking died. I blame myself for all your sickness. You weren't just ill, you were fucking sadistic. I'll get better was your favorite goddamn lie. The day I met you was the day I fucking died. I blame myself for all your sickness. You weren't just ill, you were fucking sadistic. The day I met you, or no, I'll get better was your favorite fucking lie. That sucked. Alright. I've been here before, I've is not a victory march, it's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
This first song is to Making Noise, or Sing by Hosier.
Let you move, just for the fuck of it, any joy it would bring. Honey, the look of it was as sweet as the sound. Your head tipped back, your funny mouth to the clouds. I couldn't hope to know that song in all its words. Couldn't claim to feel the same without the first time it was heard. I couldn't name that feeling carried in my voice. Was it that or just the art of making more than much joy? You don't have to sing it right, but who can call you wrong? You put your emptiness in empty, or awful of the song. You don't have to sing it right, but honey, sing it strong. At best you find a little remedy, at worst the world you sing along. So honey, sing, oh sing, honey, sing, honey, sing, sing, honey, sing, 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 honey, sing, honey, sing, honey, sing, sing. I remember when you'd sing before we moved to it and we scuffed up our shoes. Honey, the groove of it was whatever you choose. I wanna be your lover, all the vision is blue. You didn't always sing it right, but who can call you wrong? You put your emptiness to melody, your awful heart to song. You didn't always sing it right, but honey, sing it strong. Find a little remedy, that was the word we sing along. So honey, sing, honey, sing, honey, sing, honey, sing, 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 honey, sing, honey, sing. But who can ask to be unbroken or be saved again? Oh honey, hope even on the side of the grave again. But who can ask her for the sound or be saved again? Or stick around until the music plays again. Who's gonna sing, 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 cut off words, so that's it. What's your password? Announcer on the live stream. So this next one I'm hella excited about. It's called For Christmas This Year. And Chandler wrote the lyrics, and I was like, hey, I really like this song, can I steal it? He was like, yeah, sure. So I actually just uploaded the distro kit last night, so we got a couple days. It should be on Apple Music now, but it should be on Spotify in a couple days. I even paid extra, like 99 cents extra for Siri to identify my song. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Like, that's the coolest shit to me. I don't know.
This mic is dead.
Sending to me that
Yes.
was so low. My messages
This
are
mic
fucked
is
up,
dead.
and he's like,
1, 2, 3, 4.
I hold you by the fire till you're warm from the cold, and kiss you under the mistletoe while it snows, while it snows. All I want for Christmas this year is to hold your hand and walk with you in our winter wonderland. Fa la la, La 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 la. Fa la 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 la. We'll watch all my goofies and sing off key to every carol we know, while we deck the halls with tinsel and drink hot cocoa. Fa la 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 la. Christmas this year would not be special if you weren't by my side. This holiday would go up in flames if you weren't there for the Yuletide. And that's why, that's why. All I want for Christmas this year is to hold your hand and walk with you in a winter wonderland. Fa la 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 la. Fa la 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 la. When I write to Santa, honey, you're the only thing on my list. I don't want something brand new or some expensive gift. I want you, ooh, ooh, I want you. Fa la 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 la, I want you. I'm on Spotify soon. Already up on Apple Music.
Okay, hi everybody. So this first song is called Somebody Told Me Once. I have a fetish for coming back stronger than before I knew you. I became brand new. I feel pathetic on most days I start to waste away. At least I'm alone then. Somebody told me once I sound like a pretty boy. Somebody told me once you better grow up, son, 'cause life ain't a toy. Somebody told me once I'm too much work to put in. Somebody told me once you better learn how to swim before it sinks in. I have a blue backpack I carry everywhere with me. It holds my clothes, my home, and my final shred of dignity. Well, I've got nothing left except for myself and my chest, and I'll cut it off like my dear old man. Just 'cause I can, just 'cause I want to, just 'cause I'm sound, just 'cause I don't want you around. Somebody told me once I'd make a pretty ring. Somebody told me once it's so easy to get under my skin like ink. Somebody told me once I sound like a pretty boy. Somebody told me once you better grow up, son, 'cause life ain't a toy. Thanks, wrote it myself. This next song is called Oopsie Daisies.
Did you write this one too?
I also did, yes, thank you.
I've gotta say this while it's fresh in my head. Something happened that I kind of dread. I shouldn't get ahead of myself, but I just might. Oopsie daisies, I've got a crush again, and oopsie daisies, my cheeks are blush again, and you can absolutely tell everything I'm thinking. Oopsie daisies. You take your jacket off just so we're both cold. And when you do that, it makes me wanna grow with you. And there's absolutely nothing that I would not do. Oopsie daisies, I've got a crush again, and oopsie daisies, my cheeks are blush again, and you can absolutely tell everything I'm thinking. Oopsie daisies, I've got a crush again, and oopsie daisies, my cheeks are blush again, and you can absolutely tell everything I'm thinking. Oopsie daisies. Shout out to my mom for getting me this swaggy Christmas jacket. Yeah, let's go. Okay. This next song I did not write. It's I Kissed a Girl by Katy Perry. Sing along if you know the words.
I'm gonna sing along.
This was never the way I planned, not my intention. I got so brave, drink in hand, lost my discretion. It's not what I'm used to, just wanna try you on. I'm curious for you, caught my intention. I kissed a girl and I liked it, the taste of her cherry chapstick. I kissed a girl just to try it, hope my boyfriend don't mind it. It felt so wrong, it felt so right, don't mean I'm in love tonight. I kissed a girl and I liked it, I liked it. No, I don't even know your name, it doesn't matter. You're my experimental game, just human nature. It's not what good girls do, not how they should behave. My head gets so confused, hard to obey. I kissed a girl and I liked it, the taste of her cherry chapstick. I kissed a girl just to try it, hope my boyfriend don't mind it. It felt so wrong, it felt so right, don't mean I'm in love tonight. I kissed a girl and I liked it.
really obsessed with her in like middle school. Okay. I've got 2 more songs for you guys. This one is called Do You Want to Be My Boy? Don't you think it's special, the way you drive me mental, everything you do all the time. You could be my angel, you could be my savior, everything you do on my mind. I'm not picky, but I'd love if you could love me. Do you wanna be my boy? Do you wanna be mine? Do you wanna be my love? Do you wanna be my life? My life. I can't stand to stand too close. Every day I do the most, burning up in your sunshine. Hear my whispered words, tell me, can you hear me? Do you wanna be my boy? Do you wanna be mine? Do you wanna be my love? Do you wanna be my life? My life. I'm not picky, but I'd love if you could love me. Do you wanna be my boy? Do you wanna be mine? Do you wanna be my love? Do you wanna be my life? My life. My life. My
That was amazing.
Thank you. This next song is called Then There Was Me. I am a ball of raw emotion and grief. I am the underbelly of beast. I am the combination, cultivation, yield of war and peace. I saw you standing there, young and green, and then there was me. Then there was me. Then there was me. I am a subsection of mythology. My higher self looks down approvingly. It's kind of funny, and I'm tired of pretending it's not. Don't I know it? Everything's different at 18. No longer the dancing queen. The stars aligned in 2003. And then there was me. Then there was me. Then there was me. Then there was me. That's all we've got for you guys this afternoon. Thanks so much for coming out and tuning in, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.